The Coin Lady channel is pleased to have you back. Good day for crypto in general, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the break-even point. Hope you're doing well. Very same XRP Cardano. Today is a break-even day with BNB and a little bit of channeling, nothing too exciting, but we are in the thick of the doldrums. Flare is excellent today. Delhi saw a 28% increase. Recall that we were about 4 or 5 cents on the dollar when Flare launched. Accordingly, I am not exactly a pop a bottle. However, that was an impressive achievement, as many of us were able to take advantage of the excellent price action by purchasing Flare for only a penny or a cent at coin. I anticipate that this will persist. That Google Cloud has joined was, in my opinion, the primary factor in today's uptick. Flare Network is a validator Flare that offers developers access to decentralized data through its Oracle system. It considers itself the blockchain for data. As a participant in the blockchain space, Google Cloud has joined the fray as a provider of infrastructure and validators. We still have a ways to go on this, but the huge announcement certainly provided us a boost. I anticipate that there will be setbacks as they further develop this blockchain and add features to it for use with decentralized applications, dApps. I expect a lot from Flare, but that doesn't mean we can celebrate just yet. Flare, in my opinion, will emerge victorious in the long run as we proceed down this road of blockchain adoption. In the instance of SEC versus Ripple, one of the most puzzling rulings ever, the judge effectively said that selling XRP on the secondary market, regardless of whether you're Ripple or not, is not a security offering, since XRP makes a lot of sense when seen as a commodity. But what about liquidity that is available on demand? She just tossed it in with all the other securities offers that Ripple was doing, even though XRP is an investment that they were selling directly to institutions. The true mystery, according to Cash to Here, is how they can claim to offer direct sales when the user has only 4 seconds to hold the asset, and it's obvious that it's not for investment. Thus, this is the disagreement. When we examine on-demand liquidity and our understanding of how it operates, we find that there are essentially 2 aspects to consider. You shouldn't have any investors since the ideal buyer isn't purchasing XRP as an investment but rather for its practicality in making payments. We also learned that the secondary market is where XRP originates. Then what is the lesson here? If Judge Torres dropped the ball on examining how Ripple runs their business, it would be a major setback. My guess is that when dealing with Odile customers, Ripple sells XRP directly to them rather than getting the liquidity from the open market, as we are informed. If that were the case, everything would be fine. In addition, they might ask them to purchase more XRP than they need for the payment, so they can keep some of it in their records. It's hard for me to believe that tourists would completely miss the mark here. I suspect there's more going on than meets the eye when it comes to Odile's operations and interactions with those customers. If there's a direct sale, then it becomes an investment contract. In addition, I would assume that you would consider the buyer's intent and the holding term before proceeding. Sure, that's doable. Perhaps they have some in their records. Or perhaps she remarked something along the lines of, you know what? They're not getting that liquidity from the secondary market, you sell to them directly. In this case, she apparently didn't want to investigate the buyer's motivations for making the purchase. I'm not sure, but I'm going to classify it as a security product. Whatever the case may be, there is more to this than what we are aware of at the moment. You can see them rebalancing and promoting MLMs because they plan to deposit all of their XRP into such pools and encourage their clients to use them for liquidity. Naturally, they may be tapping into liquidity, Ripple's, or your own liquidity, or the fact that your mining expenses will be much reduced. It seems like they'll get a better bargain, in my opinion. But that's all the speculation I have at the moment. Perhaps there's more to these OTL payments. Instead of using the secondary market, they're obtaining liquidity straight from Ripple in order to achieve that kind of ruling. We should also expect to learn more as this unfolds. I just read an article about how money launderers are showing a growing preference for the Tether cryptocurrency. Nowadays, more and more people are opting for stable coins. Of course, criminals are just like every other person. For example, they consider the available tools to do the task. Their profession is a crime. Stablecoins aren't always bad because of this, though. Criminals and money launderers utilize US currency for one thing, and we know it. Once again, it's only a tool. Individuals have the freedom to choose how they want to use it. What is the reason behind the timing of this? I think so, since there will be a significant increase in restrictions for each stablecoin. You're all over the map, whether it's in the US or around the world. New spot Bitcoin ETFs are expected to attract substantial capital from JP Morgan's current crypto products. Not all of the money flowing into these Bitcoin ETFs is coming from new investors, so we need to be cautious when analyzing the present volume and what's happening. I mentioned this the other day in a remark. Bitcoin futures and grayscale products, which are both subpar and charge exorbitant costs, are major contributors. Investors are pulling their money out of those funds and putting it into exchange-traded funds, ETFs, like Gray, BlackRock, ARK, and Fidelity, which offer better returns at a cheaper cost. So, I hope everything settles down. Finally, there's the historic launch-related FOMO and buzz, and that will provide us a sense of the daily demand and volume in that Bitcoin ETF market, as well as our actual standing. Finally, this is somewhat bizarre. The SEC is commenting on the hack of their X account, which led to the false announcement of the approval of the Bitcoin ETF. In my opinion, it wasn't staged. In fact, it was quite early. While SEC is stating this here, the most recent regulatory update on the hack makes little sense since it implies the regulator never lost access to the account. So, tell me how it's feasible. If they were hacked, how come they could still access the account? Now we'll move on. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission denied on Friday that the individual or group responsible for tweeting about a phony Bitcoin ETF had gained unauthorized access to any of its computer systems or devices. To steal your account, they obviously don't need to get on your device. Thus, this line of thinking is really peculiar. Naturally, they didn't reach their computer by descending on a line like Tom Cruise and the operatives in Mission Impossible. Something along the lines of a SIM swap occurred. According to their sources, SEC Chairman Gary Gensler wrote a clarification following the illegal post. It took EC 15 minutes to intervene and restore their account access. That, once again, is completely nonsensical. Who is mostly to blame is difficult to determine. X's security is subpar. Even the United States Secret Service was likely lax in its security measures, if I had to guess. I would venture to say that there is probably some blame on both sides here. But how did this occur? We need to know the answers. This isn't the account of some random YouTuber. Given that this is a US government account, it's easy to see how a false declaration like that could cause significant harm. Make sure this doesn't happen again. That's the responsibility of both parties. It is unnecessary for them to continue pointing fingers at one another. But how can you verify this and rule out the possibility that this will be a recurring issue? This is because the potential consequences of tweeting anything like "we're suing Elon Musk for securities fraud" may have a devastating effect on Tesla shares and other related industries. They must investigate the cause of this and strengthen the security measures in place. Plus, I have a sneaking suspicion that the account was either taken over or that there was a SIM switch. Obviously, they were unable to surpass the real gadget. The assertion made by the SEC is quite absurd. In the comments, please share your thoughts. And, of course, like and subscribe are always appreciated. Farewell, I will see you soon.